He arose with the mighty triumph for his foes. He arose a victor from the dark domain, and he lives forever with the saints to reign. He arose, he arose, he arose, he arose, hallelujah, Christ arose.
Chariot TV is proud to present Digital Lectureship 2025, themed Shepherd the Church of God, Acts 2028. Over 12 insightful days, we'll delve deep into the principles of spiritual leadership, church organization, and the profound responsibility of caring for God's precious assembly. We'll kick off with Don Blackwell addressing Ordination of Elders, who is eligible, followed by B.J. Clark on the elders or preachers, who is in charge of the church. Eric Owens will then explore why take heed to shepherd the Church of God. You'll also hear from Mike McDaniel on balancing ruling and serving, Alan Webster on raising men to be elders, and Eric Eskew discussing when there are no elders. Kyle Butt will cover elders and church discipline, and Scott Kane will elaborate on why elders should smell like the sheep. We'll then dive into church organization with Aaron Gallagher, comparing biblical and denominational hierarchy, Shadrach Opong addressing concerns in Ghana, and Dan Cates sharing historical lessons. George Assar will shed light on church autonomy and cooperation, and John Adu will conclude by explaining why caring for the elders is caring for the church. Don't miss this enriching series. Equip yourself with biblical knowledge to better understand and participate in the life of the church. Join us for the Chariot TV Digital Lectureship on Chariot TV and the Church of Christ TV on Facebook and YouTube. Mark your calendars from the August 1st to the 14th, 2025. Don't miss out.
Everyone needs compassion, a love that's never failing. Let mercy fall on me. Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of the Savior, the hope of nations. Savior.
This is Chariot.
Yeah, Mamu nyina makwaba edeba Chariot TV. You are welcome to Chariot TV. A action time. Safi no waba, we welcome you so much to Action Time. We have an interesting discussion ahead of us. We are live. The program is live. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. So baby, I will show you if you modern next day. When you come in, you just drop in your name, or probably your name will be there. So drop in your location where you're watching us from. Let us know. Program or not, it is very live, it is very interactive, and so we are live on a Chariot TV, said in YouTube, Facebook. It is live. Tell your friends to join in the program by sharing. Okay, like the page, share the link, and then invite others. Call them if possible. Na omumbra na omubinya. We've been discussing the topic about studying abroad, and also some opportunities that are available for people who have who have interest to study abroad. And we've been doing this for the past 2 weeks. So if you've not been with us for the past 2 weeks, one miss a big time. However, you are still not too late, because there are a lot of things to unpack. This week, if the other way, there is a big program coming up. It's so big that, in fact, you need to actually position yourself to be able to like absorb it. Big, it's massive, and it's happening live on this channel, Chariot TV. A program Ben American once it is digital lectureship DL 2025. We are going to host all kinds of speakers, seasoned speakers from across the world in the brotherhood. And when you say Chariot TV, there we never disappoint. So mark your calendars from the 1st of August. It is live. It is going to be massive. You're going to hear from preachers like B.J. Clark. I mean, like there are people like that. B.J. Clark, Betsy Allen Webster, and a host of them. Yanka Sangasayan preachers, Shadrach Opon, and other preachers also in Ghana. You would hear from them, and all kinds of preachers coming around trying to make sure that this particular season of digital lectureship becomes a success, and you don't want to miss it. So please make sure you always join Chariot TV, especially from the 1st to I think on the 12th of this, and that's of next month. Yes, of next month. So let us take notes and then participate in the program, because yes, it's really, really helpful. Moma Yenshen and so. And then so me sound so me wo me two guests. Now I'm me share me two guests. Moma Yenshen and so say we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. Let us hear from you, okay? Let us hear from you, Baswa Mama Yehu baby and then share the link. It is very, very important. Share the link. We are going to talk about things that can help us when it comes to our studies, graduate studies. That is what we are discussing, and that is our focus for today. If you are not thinking of graduate education, that's fine. You know someone who is in the church, or someone who is probably outside who can benefit, please share the link. And yet, yes, and yet, share link and invite the person to come and then listen. Now, yes, na inshirano na wonso no ebi eso so mama yen share nso no yenya ne sa pepe. I have a few comments here. I want to read them before I invite my guests for today. Patrick say I'm watching you live from Asante Bekwai. That's good. Upon Anthony say good evening, brethren. We thank God for another week. Yes, so we thank God for another week. Watching you live from Mali. Mali phone na Nyankopon. Jonathan and so many papa it's great to see you. Nedebia, it's great to see you. Jonathan also it's great to see you. I said I could me share with Sharp I said I'm watching you live from Takwa. Yeah, you said Takwa Achempem. I think one of my guests made mention, and I even two of them that be back or say I think Takwa Anna Unye. I'm not too sure. I'll probably find out later on. So yes, we are live. The program is live on Chariot TV. The program is on Facebook. It's also on YouTube. Moma Yenshenenson. When you come on the show, please leave a comment. Moma baby it helps. Statistics, and then the digital people and said our viewership, our audience, and baby ifi. It's really, really very, 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 very helpful. Okay, Makasa Bibri. Last week I had two guests, and I have them with me. I want to introduce them. Mama, you invited Mini Abema Frank Adai Obin. In fact, the Dino, you realize that Nane Papa Nasa your two ni Dino say Obebin on being ya own to me into an amombia utuno. So, Brother Frank Bemoajo.
Yeah, on your bed. Now for me, idea.
Oh, Nyankopon Adom. Bibia Boko na also.
Yamia Dumo, Messumahoye. Yeah, the Yamia say Osadia Beshia. See, and some bedding como near Moaboyon.
That's right. Now, Boston Honom no Bibia Boko, dear.
Oh, Yamia do Biaboko. We say a tin come with ye, and no any idea here.
I see. Now, so Massachusetts, right?
Massachusetts.
Anyway, so yeah, then Yakupon say also what's me abekanya this week now. When you that say baby Yakupon apeja weduno, you also want to share, and that is the whole point being a Christian, you want to also uplift others with you as far as our journey here on earth is concerned. It's just a journey. When we thank you so much and appreciate you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to avail yourself and share the little the little you know to our viewers and then our audience. So on behalf of them, I want to thank you so much. Now let's go on to Mianka Same Boss Bakope. Senior man, Memoajo.
Yeah, on your bed, men so Majo, Nachia, on your Frankenso, Mamuninajo.
As a neno, as a what the kasa dinkakra.
On your bed, Mimajo, na, I mean, Chia on your Frankenso, I said, Obia.
That's right. That's right. We are really, really glad. You guys are very busy people. For those who do not know, okay, PhD is a very busy program, and it's not like it's nothing like anything you've seen or heard before. It's a very intensive program. And these people are at the top of the heap. Yes, they are almost pushing forward their knowledge. They are trying to gain more knowledge and then push things up front. So they don't really have time. That is the point I'm trying to say. But for them to, out of all these schedules, to make time for us, Kasa for what to say me, when they say, PhD, they don't talk too much. They are always very concise and brief and all that. But if they still are here, we really appreciate them. Na ondom kamo ho na de modi asimu ani so no na ono ankasa no onye emfama. So that is the little I want to say. I don't know if you have any opening remarks before we zoom into today's discussion proper. Obia betimi akasa.
Well, the kind of better request say omuni on my univo. Omunti na my program we say urban. We thank you all for coming to watch this program. Adeba kwa mekane say Adibia share no say no any legal advice. Let us put this disclaimer out there.
That's right.
Any legal advice. They are all suggestions. Nyama yeni mubi boy we became successful in our applications and I share with you. And see, the kind of said when you get these suggestions, think about them.
Yeah.
Ask yourself whether they apply to you and then whether you want to use them. Men yes say a legal advice near them there be suggestions near them. So I just want to put this out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. I believe say and one wakano I have to make mention, I have to emphasize what you just said. Say menye juma ewo application service ewo memorial, okay. Menye juma ewo Harvard. I am not a staff there. Into the air Kenyana are just out of our experiences. I think that is the point we want to emphasize. So no one should come back and tell us, I followed what you said and so I think it is a very good point worth noting. Thank you so much, Brother Frank, for making that point. Brother Nat, do you have any opening remarks?
Oh, say better than coupon say on there and so I don't na made a quite saying to me, she and for and chair. Didn't get a cry for graduate school applications. Now, Senior Brother Frank Kyle, 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Bible is a test all things and hold on to what is true. And see, you have to assess the econ because you are sharing based on your experience. Not just it's applicable to your case, and then you can take some cues from that and then use it in your application.
Wow. And then so I with the Bible verses. I said me recommend my Jonathan and Brother Shadrach. Anyway, so that's all right. When it comes to let's begin with the whole point. Like when it comes to starting the application proper, okay. Someone completes an undergrad degree back in Ghana. I know you guys went through the whole system, right? You went through 4 years each. Frank Oko, is it Legon?
Yes.
You said that last week, right?
Yeah.
And Nat Oko KNUST.
That's correct. Yes.
So was it 4 years each or less than that?
4 years.
Yes, 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. So after 4 years, that you got your bachelor's degree?
Yes.
Yes.
You got your bachelor's degree.
Yes.
Okay. So after the bachelor's degree, you then had thoughts, and I say you had interest to pursue other like advanced degrees, right? And I remember you guys shared some very interesting stories about how you got some mentors to like advise you along the way and all that. But beyond the advice, I want to start with you, Brother Frank. Beyond the advice, what did you do personally on a personal note? Because it takes more than an advice to land you in graduate school and Anambra. So
Yeah.
what steps did you take personally to actually begin, or should I say, like kickstart the whole process? So
Yeah.
if you get my question, you can just go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. So I would say last week I think said me boss but I'll add more to it. Adeɛ baako a mebehu ne sɛ graduate application no, apart from your academics, that is your transcript, and then your research experiences, no. Yeah, na ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo sɛ, are you interested, really interested in the field that you are applying to or the program you are applying to? And one of the ways to show say you are really interested or passionate about the program, then it's will be show interest in applying to conferences and attending these conferences and possibly even presenting at these conferences. And he said me kind of last week, I took it upon myself, say I will look for conferences, meet me, I submitted an abstract from my undergrad project, to see say whether I'll be accepted to do either a poster presentation or an oral presentation.
Mm,
And see, my name is PI and I'm in the for my undergrad project, Eddie Nkomo. And I'm trying to say, well, this is what I want to do, just to have the exposure out there and also build on my communication skills. And he agreed that I submit the abstract to these conferences. So I submitted to about 3 international conferences, 2 in the US and 1 in Australia. And Nyame Aduma, US Bakoma poster presentation. I didn't have to come in person because COVID was on the rise, but I was able to do the poster presentation online. And then one gave me a talk at Johns Hopkins University. See, I was able to do that oral presentation there. So, and then Australia, the kind of saying poster. So I did these online, and these gave me additional. Adibia made me a show say yes, I am interested on my CV. Say I'm interested in the field that I've chosen. I've prepared myself enough to get into a PhD program and then survive. Into that is one of the things that yeah. And then the second thing is I attended a lot of webinars. Yeah, what organizations be they organize webinars for people who want to study abroad. Last week I mentioned AfriSnet. AfriSnet, yeah, African organization. Yeah, if you are interested in studying, especially in the US, they help you. They pair you to a mentor. Then mentor no will be Juma application documents, your transcript, the kind of programs you're applying to, your essays, wow, so I did that. I got a mentor from AfriSnet. I also got a mentor from an organization I knew a friend of GSMI. I think that was first time I know, and then I
mm,
applied, I got accepted. Into me mentor by console everyone. So I worked with the 2 mentors all together, exchanging emails, me sending me documents for normal review me. So these are some of the things that personally me and Sakra na may best start the application,
mm.
to go through all the steps that maybe in the Beckham once
Yeah,
and sign and may submit the application. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I want to say this, Obed. Last week I forgot to say this. There is this organization called STEM for Development.
Pacho, can you hear me?
Unfortunately, STEM
STEM.
for development.
Okay.
STEM for development. Unfortunately, it's only for the sciences. You
Yes.
see, people should look out
Yeah.
for this. You can search online STEM for development. They are really doing a lot of work. Who
So
apply
STEM, you mean like science, technology, engineering,
engineering and
mathematics, right?
mathematics.
Okay.
Exactly,
All right.
exactly. Inti who search it online you find them. I think there is an application to apply for mentor. Wow, in your application, your graduate school application. Just take an opportunity, submit an application. Who knows? Maybe you'll be selected as a mentee. You might get into a graduate.
What's a STEM, dear Ben?
STEM for development.
STEM for development. All right. So
Yes.
our viewers may sure say, dear, you've said it more than 4 times. So by now they were tracked to come. That is a very, very interesting experience to share on your own personal, on the personal notes and the things you did. You tried to solicit lots of mentors from the Okekai, and I just say it was a lot of guidance. And I remember something in the Bible of saying the multitude of counsel there is safety, right? So you shouldn't think some of these things you can do them solo. I think that's the point I get from what you just said. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
we have a lot of people who have gone through the process, or more experience, the mistakes they made, the good things they use in the application, share with you. They are not going to do the work for you, but the fact that they will share these experiences with you, will shape your application materials. It will increase your chances of getting into a program.
Yeah. I think one point I should emphasize then is that you see it's becoming very competitive, and we are living in a very competitive world. So instead of trying to do it all by yourself, reinventing the wheel all by yourself, life is too short, and you don't want to do something that someone else has already done it and gone through it and known all about it. And you just want to tap the knowledge from that person and then try to improve upon your own lot. I think that is a very important point. Now, coming to Brother Nat, last week, just as our brother said, we mentioned a lot. So many things. You also cited, said you had a support from and as advice from your uncle, and you chose to pursue engineering. And I would just want to find out from you, on a personal note, he did a lot of online webinars, poster presentations, had on your mentors from other organizations and all that, trying to help him to format and shape his application in a way that would earn him a significant chance of being accepted into graduate school. Now, for you, how was it? How did it go? Just give us a snapshot. Saying it, we school now, you wanted to advance. People were giving you suggestions, but what did you do before even starting to apply? That is what I want to know.
Okay, I'm in charity for so. Into very school, I think around 2019. Now my internship kakra na fe many as to what goes on in the telecommunication corporate industry or the corporate telecommunication industry. But maybe we're not feeling who said my interest was more aligned with research and development. Said the phone fidie and bana boa manipa and any person medin kita odi and found baby obiao. And see now in our third year, you have final year. So organization be a competition here. Students better what we call research proposal. I just say, say be a person would or mobile sika something one. Maybe to me abwa for. And see the choir competition and research grants. I bet to me a human on your person. And see a honor. Yenya experience kakra for your boy. Unlike on your front end, we didn't publish in a conference or we didn't submit any paper to a conference, but winning the grant and then undertaking the research activity for your better on paper, we just put it on ResearchGate. The experience in itself was quite enriching. I feel so a fully funded scholarship. And in our space in telecommunication engineering, if you want to land a very prestigious scholarship, you also need to build a bit, even if not advanced from the undergrad level. There should be some appreciable amount of research experience our building. So even beyond competition, and my partaking and in grants, I proposal and I throw home paper on ResearchGate. No. I saw say the best opportunity for me to have that research experience will be if I served as a teaching and research assistant back at the department. Nti me hu san na me de ebe nim say me pese me eti what we call it on campus me pese me eti on campus. Nti Nyankopon adom me saka sa adwuma no na from I think September 2020 to October 2021. Now, me was Department of Telecommunication Engineering as a teaching assistant and a research assistant for that matter. Nti na me di me professors nechi grants been never see a chura na ye chura paper been never saw ken kind of we summarize the my professor now ken kind sa dwumedi nyina boa me it opened my eyes significantly man behu say well in the research world no, this is what goes on. Nti afi time is so is we'll come to that later, but time is so said many applications. You know, I was able to fit all those experiences on my CV. It really helped me significantly. So I'll just pause it because I know say on this topic later on in our conversation.
Wow, interesting. So it tells me something. You made mention of, I said you had a foresight, foreknowledge, and I said, number one, and because of that, it propelled you to take certain steps. And I think that is very, very important. So as someone who wants to pursue advanced studies, especially studying beyond the bachelor's level, I think it's something that we should encourage our young ones to think about. Say, you shouldn't just be myopic, just see like what is just in front of you. You should be very visionary. You should think, if you're in level 100, you should think of what will happen when you are done with school. Like you should start think at what time. I mean, be so frank. Let me be very, very direct. At what time should someone start to think about graduate school? Let me just push you to the wall and see.
Okay. Before I answer that question, Mamenka asked the same way. No question they say when I went to the University of Ghana, I knew nothing about CV. Your friend is CV. Let me name Bibia found. So there was this church member, Emmanuel Bosu, if he remembers, he was a church member at the University of Ghana Campus Church of Christ. And now a year, Jima was University of Ghana Career and Counseling Services. I want to know, I think it's part-time. Every year, they organize a program where they bring in companies. I think it's a form of recruitment. People submit their CV, they vet, and then they try to see whether it is good for job application and all that. Michiano, Bisa me said, me CV abana. And the funny thing is, said, what is CV? I was with my best friend at that time, Mohammed Atampuri, if you remember this story. And then he took me through what a CV was. I had all the experiences, but na me nim kwanya yedebeto CV so. Right. I just want to say this before I answer your question. If you are in level 100 or you are now aspiring to go to the university, start thinking about CV. Your experiences are when you're from high school, and then even if you're already in the the university, where experiences are when you know, get someone to guide you. Go online, open a lot of templates for CV, and then start organizing those experiences on a CV. Get someone to help you to format it to be in a good shape. That is the first thing I would say. But as to that, Ben also say Obi, and as a time Ben also will be James or Beko graduate school. No, for me, like I said the last time, right from first year, and I'm beside that question. They said, is there an opportunity to do a PhD right from undergrad without doing a master's? Until when I got the answer, I said, yes, you can do it. And this and this and this are what you need to do to make you very competitive so that you can get a chance of getting into a program. I just started from there. Research experience. I started internship right from there. Started making from last week, And obi any time obedrin.
Okay.
Normally, I am in person make say first year because 1 year now if you focus on only, I mean, if you start thinking about application, graduate school application, now when you'll be with me balance with time here, you just focus on that aspect and leave your academics and all other things and me are building yourself. And then maybe start from level 300. You can have the thought from first year that I want to go and do my master's or PhD after undergrad. Good. Ask yourself what are the things you need. Start preparing yourself. But until so what do level 300, 400, no? Men how who be brave say, oh yeah, applications and all that. I bet you time. Academics is very, very important. And then, making sure say what do stage be out say, okay, now I can balance my time very well, such that say me ready about graduate school application and then I'm writing my SSR. And Jimmy time also me this year, then I'm making great so bit me aboa me. I might get into the program, right? And start thinking about it from first year, but don't focus on it too much. When you get to third year, fourth year, start getting mentorship, start reading about it, and then fourth year or getting to your national service, you can just start with the application. That is what I would say.
Wow. Fantastic. When the story about like level 100, you just wanted to you asked the question, is there a way you can do your PhD right after your bachelor's degree, and then you had people to help you put down your CV. I think the story about your CV, and so it reminded me of something Obi at the comment. I think in your Bema Conrad, I think he's a very popular brother in our brotherhood in Ghana. Yeah, I remember I think there was a time I contacted him, and Conrad. Conrad is an astute member. Like he's top notch, like a bar.
Let me acknowledge him over here. I remember when I was selected as a valedictorian, I wrote my speech and then sent it to him to vet for me. So, exactly. Conrad, I salute you.
Yes, I think he even has a consult. So for those who would want to avail of him, and we are not doing advertisement or anything, but or your brother, and we know say this is his area of specialty, especially when it comes to helping people improve CV. As if I remember me calling Chen, and I was like, I want to be a public speaker. And I mean, we knew how to speak, like do presentations and like because I'm a public speaker and all that. So me calling Chen, then he tried to help me with a few lessons. Although mentimian graduate, but at least a few steps he gave me went a long way to help me. It's probably more PhD. So yeah, it just came to mind. I just wanted to share. So yeah, I think that the Okana is very important. So there are individual variations, and I said there are differences amongst us. And Obiane time or Besha say actually what lies ahead. But I think the earlier the better, because preparation is always very, very important. So Moma Yenshen said, we should try as much as possible to think ahead and then plan ahead. Said the bear time you do and trust me, the Ebabe discussing when it comes to this application, it is a whole job. It's also when our brother Frank was talking, also the all level 100 and level 200. I don't focus on it too much. And the reason why you don't focus on it too much, you sure say he will talk about it in the maybe in the next few minutes. But it is very, very important. Say we try as much as possible to think ahead. Then, as time goes on, we try and then build upon it. So, thank you so much for that response, Brother Nat. I believe, say, timer. You were certain that you really want to now begin the journey of going to graduate school. No? There was one thing that actually moved your whole process. Now, last week you made mention, both of you made mention of it. You said it is the program that you want to pursue, not necessarily the school. So the person Oma Etifo, just tell us, for you, you wanted to do engineering, a certain type of engineering. You found out, say, that type of engineering is better you do it at places which have the facilities, right? Who are there, and Brother Frank and so can say also no. He was interested in a particular research, and he realized say there were people who were already doing the research. They have about 20 years of research experience in the field he wanted to pursue. So it made very good sense to work alongside with such people so that they can push, they can think together and push forward whatever research. So I think that is the main point. The program, you know, I won't say program. Why is it the program, Brother Matt? I didn't in school, no? Because many say, like, I want to go to Harvard. Say, Brother Frank or Harvard, like a person call Ivy League school. What I say. Now then, I didn't think I shouldn't just go to online and then just look at the schools I want to go. Was it? Or these basic schools, it's junior high school, that's a call senior high school. They ask you pick your schools. And so no, that pick your school system, no, a dream, like we want to pick schools. And then I say do university there, even after SHS, no, still auto forms are you pick the schools, and then you think about the program later on, but how they choose a school. I didn't think a graduate school more catch and say now we should stop thinking about the schools. Thinking about the programs. Why, Brother Nat?
That's a very good question. Edika, let me start from this angle. Your point and our universities offer a wide variety of programs. That is the first thing I want us to mention. Then again, most students now will call university now. I was saying, I say university will be now we are go pay juma. Yes, Oko University is prestigious. That will see this one. Send when you have Franklin, see you will come to that. It will say a crata and here because and also nature school our kwana this year winner. A channel was a crata is. And see what question upon Bakwa just actually on the Safana. Nemo movie and I feel if I was even I share your graduate school, you share publications. Now they compare Obia or course your Kongfu. It is not as prestigious as the one candidates A went to, but on the publications, the Dawson. Not just say a Juma where you were university or core, you know. Eso a chain would your wine, even though you went to a bigger university. Until most employees are going to look at their all publications at Dawson. Now if you offer a Juma. In other cases, sometimes you can take a scenario like law. Maybe a law will be called school, let's say Harvard, Oxford, or law degree. Harvard is known for producing a lot of lawyers in America, same as Oxford in the UK. Into reputation or prestige, no. But a graduate researcher, it's about how much knowledge you are contributing to what is already existing. Into I don't know, it's less of the prestige and then more of your individual contributions. And that is why we advocate say over to me, it will be good that you focus on the program and not the university itself. Sometimes the program will be offered by a very prestigious university. And that means you're very lucky. But sometimes too, you can have a program offered by a lesser known university, but rankings now, they are among the top 10 or they compete with the best. So that is what I want to say regarding that question.
Okay. My name is Frank no Bonitinko. I don't know if baby Shana Pantine or Peso EPR. I mean, if you want to add something to this.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Brother Nat. I think about what we can say, what can we say? You use who as an example, say if you have a son by Harvard, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't hear say the school is not really, we shouldn't think about the school too much. The school is important. Let's maybe say because as a school new here, school need the but imagine say obey engineer. Now over these two schools in mind, MIT and then Harvard. The infant say Harvard overall ranking, because Harvard was through SNA MIT. But you want to become an engineer, let's say a mechanical engineer. Mechanical engineering in Harvard, as compared to MIT. MIT, I was through a name class in Harvard. Okay. So in that case, engineer say Harvard overall, and I had the best school. But all say, okay, maybe one of the best mechanical engineers. Where would I get the best training about met me achieve that goal now? You go to MIT. Right. In America say, in addition to the brother Nat kind, in America say, the program is very, very important. Your research experience, your research interest is very, very important. Biological science, of course. Harvard is ranked to be one of the best in biological sciences. It is Harvard one. Now getting into the program. Already Harvard is up there. The program is up there. Wow.
Yeah.
But the other programs now Harvard then shut down rank well in that. Now Harvard all because of the name of the school. In a way, that should be a bit me how. Yeah. And any other person can't the brand
I see. Interesting. So, not just we have dealt with that issue about schools and prestige schools and schools. We are not saying they are not important, brethren. The school you attend is very, 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 very important. However, person will go school, but say later on, your will not be recognized by employers and then by the scientific or academic community. That is not just a wasted effort. So we are not saying go to any school at all. Rather, what we are saying is that be led by your interests. Now, about interest, you see, most of us, you work SS, and I say you work secondary school. So when you're 10 A's, automatically, student will say medicine. When you're area, not just say, oh, dear, oh, $1 and I say, maybe so. So I just so crowd Frank, what's it last year? It is also when you're 15. So what year?
Yeah, last year 15 were JHS.
Last week, okay, so when you're 15. Oh, well, JHS. Okay.
Yeah.
SS, then the one can do unya. But young culture now, say, so being a 10 A's and I say like perfect score. The whole idea is medicine. Into no university, for example, now cause any interest if you be or program be now interest me person what saying. I know you are a coach, okay? So in just about 1 minute, tell us interest and nipa no be den and we say we any interest. Now so interest now, like how do we even bring out that interest? I'm not sure if you get my question, but try or you coach, so try and then give our audience something to chew on.
Yeah, idea about Kwame said the kind of courses are you taking, not programs, courses. Remember as a subject. Obi o university behind him say a distinction between a course and a program.
That's right.
The kind of courses I would take at the university can pique your interest in a specific research area.
Good.
And me, even before I went to university, I mean, say I wanted to do something related to drug discovery because minya malaria, and papa beko akotiti nim tree. No one now I'm within some few days, me me. So I always wanted to know what is in that nim tree so that piqued my interest in drug discovery. But me core investing, I became very interested in metabolism, all because of some courses via Miteki, right? Into the kind of courses are you taking investing on? Into the guy says, so who invest here? Main for only the grades. One more class or so pass it is good, so pass it. But so pay attention to the courses that we taking. Now what see as a year, a bit mere beer can be a I do many jump as compared to ABR course A. Into semi pursue researcher, I didn't know for many and Trehonum. And I say, first of all, me and Crofwa or Medi kind or that field anymore. Namino Mundin Komo Mbisa more into that for them to guide me whether that will be a very suitable path for me. And that is one thing I make I say. Let us pay attention to the courses we are taking at the university. Menko class I just want to get an A and then I just want to pass. Pay attention to the content of the course because that can open a way for you to identify your interests.
Thank you. I think the Mesobe can actual account the ones what can and they say you see to say if business administration and also if engineering. There are so many courses in that program. So what I say, and I say there are so many subjects or courses you take. Now you realize that subjects be like you don't really have to, and just you don't really suffer to understand. So what I say, and a subject be bit me your mind in some by no. What I say. So with regards to interest, and I think say they're all kind, we should pay attention to the courses now you take throughout our journey at the university. And those are the telltale signs where we can build on and develop an interest in a particular specialty. I think that is what I want to add to you. Courses now courses be on what say and it comes natural to you, and definitely, and guess program now courses to me the day throughout there be if you want to focus on the ones that really are okay for you. You don't really suffer to understand, and then try and see whether bibi was that anymore into a ultimate more maths and then develop that, and then probably build upon that, and that could be your interest, that could be your specialty. So when we invest now you already know which area of specialty you are entering into, and you're failing now and like we don't want you to do that. So, and I think that is something I want to add to that. I mean, Mr. Brother Nat, will be out of the camera.
Well, into maybe the end of how I began discovering my interest, I'll go as far back as SHS. Me general science, but my biology, as I mentioned the last time, into me technical drawing, me physics, me chemistry, me elective maths. But I noticed out of these four, I mean, I'm proud of them. I could pass all of them, but physics came way too easy for me to understand. And see, based on that, I knew I was going to do engineering because I had already even had that interest from way back. In your core university, offer the discipline of telecommunication engineering very broad. I mean, my minimum example, if you're TV, some make your first the TV pole 10 pan, you're the and I feel baby, I feel I got more TV dish and an idea channels. In see. I feel I from Fidia, but your mind. You share your phones. About 20 years ago, phones need be a cassia pan, and your phones and kids were to me and your baby with phones. In see, my interest, I would call it we call it physical layer. In see, share sex, yeah, Casasian, yeah, them. And so, your post here, na telecom master, your bontin, orange and white, and I might see Pia Bontin. And at that time, which I shouldn't be possible, say, let me this very good connection. And so I wanted to understand how it is possible. So even though I'm indoors, I'm able to achieve this very good connection. And see, your course is Kakra. I remember mobile communications, wireless communications, and all this. Oh, sorry. The light here, emotion.
Yeah. It's true. And see, so I think it's a similar thing. And also he developed his interest alongside when he was at the university, and then you see, he was talking about trying to troubleshoot certain things that was surrounding him. Who said the wireless, the manema. So those are the things we can also learn. We can also pick up. In school, take time, look at the courses you are doing, take time, go out, explore. Maybe you want to understand in nature. Okay, and he has created the whole world for us, and he delights, or he wants us to delight in his creation. So we should study whatever thing he has created, and if something is of interest to us in his creation, Charlie, and develop it. And I think that that is the point. Both guests, the program is live. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. I feel I will join here. You've missed so much, but you've not missed too much. You could so kasa. And then on my as you see, I can steps, but we are taking our time, and then we are trying to help you understand, because steps you do more, you realize that all these things we are talking about will now come to bear. Okay, so in a very in a very short time, we will begin talking about the steps. So we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. So we're joining in for the first time. Please send in your comments, and we will do well to read them out as well. I think a few comments about so Mema Minya Bema Frank Ajina Home. I think Nat and Swasan so I welcome him back to the show. So a few comments have popped up, and I would like to read them. And then after that, we'll go through the initial phases of a year application. I believe that there is a chart that we have to show our audience. So we will try and then look at it after reading the comments. The program is live, so please drop in your comment. There are people watching, I'm dropping in their comment. I don't know why. We don't want to believe saying someone for your hair. So we want to know, say, please drop in your comment. Tell us where you are watching us from. So Jonathan, yes, on your setakwa achimpem and efi uchia and greetings. Yes, so I say Jonathan also how about nursing opportunity? Yes, opportunity need so the mini animal canon STEM. I think nurses STEM. I'm not too sure if that is correct.
Yeah, I think that health sciences, whatever constitutes science, and I think it's a STEM.
It's a STEM. So yes, or you're a nursing student or you're a nursing degree holder now, sharing now interest to pursue advanced studies. Ghana no advanced studies. However, we are saying that there are a lot of opportunities out there. So it is. I don't think it is right to just stay at one place. G4 cancer. So what if now what's what so sometimes travel like to Kwai Kakra or Accra, Aku school, Legon, still go to Accra, you still want to be there. Try and move out, okay? Like go to other places and see how other places are. So the bear also at least like I said, I was there some like something like that. And Ututu Kwai now a lot of things. In fact, I'll come to that. But when you travel, you realize that it opens up your mind. You get to interact with other people, other cultures, and you appreciate people when they talk. So I think it is one of the things you can talk about. Anyway, so Jonathan, nursing opportunity is really captured. Vera also said that I'm watching you live from Ajamesu. Ajamesu for Ichicha. Obi said Oshen from Paradise. Paradise near Hibi. The Paradise was so. Where my wife, Mate, from Paradise. Okay. Jonathan, so this program is very insightful and educative. Please let's share to brethren. Yes, to Obaswa, you share and you drop in your comments. Very, very necessary. Jonathan, Jonathan is very active today. Jonathan, may Charles salute and so God bless you for sharing with us. Said can your brother Conrad try and proceed. But for those who unfortunately weren't privy to this information and so didn't or couldn't build a CV rich enough to apply for graduate school while in school, is it too late or there is something that can be done? I think that I won't. Okay, meaning if either of you want to react or comment on this, we can proceed. Short comment.
It is never too late.
Okay.
And yet too late, cry. So far as I what the interest to pursue graduate school. That is why we are doing this. Anything that this has come at this point. Just focus on the suggestions now. You can reach out to us, Leroy. You can reach out to me personally, and then we can do something. You can learn from others, and then the encounter during your undergrad, and you can still get it and then still pursue graduate school at this point.
Yeah,
so
I think that it's never too late. Okay, yes, that's it. But yeah, and that's so aside yes. So as long as you can hear us, it means that it is a perfect time for you. So there is a Japanese proverb. I said the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time is today. Mamoma, say once you've gone through your For instance, undergrad, you didn't do anything with your CV. Now, time time in term. You can start today. So start today. I believe that there are so many things we can do when we adopt that approach. Okay. Seth, I'm watching you live from KNUST. Yes, this is a program we would love. Say, and more tertiary institutions now they get to see or they get to know. These are information that they need at this point in time. So, Seth, if you are in KNUST, if you're a student, let us know and share or invite your friends to come and watch. And you're very, very important. And if there is anything they can learn from it, that is the goal of this particular TV program, Chariot TV. I organize it. So please don't be too selfish. My friends and almost and let them get this information. Na so Solomon Abe, also I'm watching you live from Kintampo. I think Kintampo is the center of the world, meaning whether that claim is true. Kwame Arthur, I'll say I'm watching. Okay, Kwame said good evening. I'll say I'm watching you live from Koforidia. Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
he's my brother-in-law, my wife, junior brother. No.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Akonta, So, next, I think last week in your father, brother Nat, and this week in Siena will be Akonta. Hey, next, and go for Anyway, that's good. So now let's now talk about the steps involved. I think we just have about 5 minutes to conclude, but we'll try and see what can be done. Next week we may not be able to meet, okay, because of a digital lectureship. So we will be on hibernation. Action time will be on hibernation for some time, but you'll be back after digital lectureship. So please just make sure that the Yebabe canon to see we are not going to exhaust everything. However, we are going to continue with it. So that is the point I want to make. So who wants to begin? Like when here to run us through the application. I think I have a slide here I want to share so that we can start looking at it proper. Meaning whether you can see, if you can see it, let me know whether you can see the slide.
Yes, I can see it.
You can see the slide. Okay, perfect. So the very first point, this slide no apampemwa bibi wo say applying for graduate school in the United States of America. Mr. Enye United States of Asante Bekwai. Mr. More agents and where United States of America. That is for this particular country in Canada. So the Ebabekano, although it pertains specifically to this, however, most of these things are applicable to almost all graduate schools in Northern America and also probably in Europe. I'm not too sure about Europe, but in Northern America, so I can speak for Northern America. So if you are thinking of applying to probably schools in Northern America, this is a correct blueprint for you. You have to take note, you have to pay attention and consume it. But that was just by the way. Frank, you walk us through the very first point. So I'll say from the far left, I think there is this point of identify your program of interest. What do we mean by that? I want to go to graduate school. Now, I'll say I should identify my program of interest. We've talked about how to pick your interest, but the question is identify your program of interest and how do we go about it? But just summarize it again for us.
Okay. So they're all kind, and I just want to say, we abra why the ya can want some meaning area. For instance, why internship and all that. Or you can even do this before doing internship. So it's applicable. It works. I think it works both ways. But I guess identify your program of interest. When we say okay, me pese me malaria research. It's malaria research no. Malaria research keke enye program. Into baby someone say in my field I'm interested in malaria no. I was me apply to business school and business school programs enye applicable for you. Well, what about say me kwaye engineering? Let's say mechanical engineering or electrical engineering. No, this is biomedical. Maybe biomedical engineering might fit in, but it's about biological sciences, biomedical sciences, medical sciences. If you can identify a program of interest, when we say I'm interested in malaria, no, now you ask yourself, programs ben I'm a year, I'm making research on malaria. So that is what you do. Inti ubetimi akọ online if you don't have any knowledge about that. Ubetimi akọ online, and then now we have ChatGTP. You can ask, I am interested in malaria research. I'm interested in cancer biology. I am interested in this and that. Let's say telecommunication. What programs can I pursue to achieve this aim? That is it.
Toboase, I think it is a very important point you have raised. Say you're interested in something. What you are really interested in, as far as your kind of tertiary education is concerned, your bachelor's degree is concerned, usually is the research. So you are interested in a research area. For example, me interested in ABR. The person who said I'm interested. Said malaria. Said I want to learn how neem tree. Then the one neem tree more. A bit to me, and I say it to me man call for more. So that is not a program. There is nothing like neem tree program be like for running or blah blah blah. We invest. It doesn't happen. So but a nothing so like telecommunication MTN4 dish now or person how or you're interested in understanding why you to me in your internet and the reception and where your phone so and I said for like no any program baby it is just an interest, a research interest. So the very first point and then they say move from the interest or the research to a program. So what I said, that is I like the point that you made. Say now we have so many tools, brethren. There are so many tools. Take all the AI tools available, make use of it. Don't just be going there unnecessary, be so unnecessary questions like use ChatGPT very, very wisely. Ask some of these questions to ChatGPT or any of the AIs you are comfortable with. And I believe that a very suitable program for your particular research now you are interested in. I think that is a very, very important point. Brother Nat, I don't know if you have something else to add. Okay, sorry.
Use ChatGPT. We are not trying to say whatever ChatGPT gives you is a final. Okay. You have to make sure that they all can indeed suit your interest. Okay. And it's already we name the officer or that, but maybe I now name the specific program. In the ChatGPT, a list of them. Read about them, whether a year will interest anchors our person pursue. Then make the decision yourself. Don't let ChatGPT or any of those chat box make the decision for yourself. I mean for you, yeah.
Thank you so much, brother Frank. Nat, now episode okay, baby.
I think identifying your program of interest, yes, it's so what call undergrad now will be courses now and I'm so baby. So what they or holding now horse and I feel home. So then I can name tree in my case, wireless communications. And only just I would call it a sub area under a specific program. Grad school, and then I think we would also have to mention grad school, you have course-based programs and then research-based programs. And you just want to go to grad school to just polish up your educational experience, and then you go back into the corporate world. I feel obeying some person according to research and say, "Yeah, many on your frank, yeah, person, we won't have to go there for a course-based program. We want to go for a research-based program.
Yeah, I think that was a very important point you made. So all along, our focus has been on research. Yeah, I think Monfa and Chain. Yeah, there are other graduate school programs that are not research based. So I know a couple of them. You just go there, you take a couple of courses, and those ones are also applicable. Like these steps are also applicable to them. But as I say, we are just focused on some of. But I think even with that, for those ones, you still need to identify your interests, and these things can help you build up some of these things. ABI, no. The only difference between a course-based program and a research-based program is the undertaking of a significant research work or component, right? That's the only difference with that. So I get the point you raised, but it's a very important point you raised. So, Brother Frank Amayo, 1, 2.
I wanted to add this.
Okay.
Said yeah, bro, not kind, For example, we want more business. So, Master of Business Administration, right? And no, we want man also focus on analytics, business analytics, but it is within the same MBA. We to person focus on, let's say, corporate finance. And it's a who interest now. And I'll be also okay. Should I apply to this MBA and focus near business analytics now? And also me apply to this MBA and focus near corporate finance. When you research, when you course B said yeah, brother not but you still have to identify your interest.
Exactly.
What you need to program.
Exactly. So quick one, your time on the call. Brother Frank Acheng, a tool we can use. On your CM called AI. Let's make use of AI. Are there other tools we can use to help us apart from artificial intelligence? If it may use any other tool to help us identify our program of interest and Brother Nat.
Well, I'm going to speak from my personal experience. It will be hard because the thing is that even if you're going to use AI, and I hope I will use ordinary internet now, you are going to enter some information. Now, information or the amount is based on what you are telling maybe whether it's AI or even Google.
Okay.
From my personal experience, I identified my interest from my personal experience. You see, the end of my family now, I feel a boy me to me the home, baby, my whole thing. You may be able to use Google or even AI to find. Sometimes interest no, it doesn't come from baby or what thing. Or be share idea or share the career options or share the better opportunity, and then they build their interest on that.
Okay.
And see, that question will be very hard for me to say yes or no to in terms of using AI or using another tool or even using your own personal experience. Okay. I think we all have different perspectives to this. And see, I wouldn't limit anybody to a specific answer.
Yeah. What I would add to how you or tools you can use to identify your program of interest, aside AI, is also human beings. So your supervisors are there for you. Your people who really know you. Yeah. If you are finding it difficult, don't say he was able to do a self-introspection and dissect himself and find out exactly what he wants. Maybe to say brother Nat. That is why we have coaches. That is why I think in your Bema Frank he introduced himself so a coach. So he does some of these things. He's able to identify things in people. You see, sometimes people can tell you something about yourself without you even knowing. Say that is something you are really good at. So I think we should also make use of human beings. And talking about human beings, not any human being. Of course, people who are privy to your academic journey or people you have shared your academics like profile with. To me, advisor, they are advisors, counselors, people who can look at your academics and then probably give you suggestions. These are human generated responses or suggestions as opposed to artificial intelligence and as a generative AI. So we can also make use of these people who are our teachers, our lecturers. Maybe when we're in school, you really don't know exactly what you are good at. It's me a friend, professor be an our lecture be an hour in here very close. It was school. No, be son said, I mean, what me cry, was school. Then, Abia, na me ya be when I say, you can call your faculty and ask them, say, those who are in research, maybe someone say, where is this Abia? Oh, yeah, biology. Where is biology heading to? Which area of biology is Abia? They can give you some tips. I bit me wow. Then you can pick it up from there. So all these are things that you can do to help you to pick your interest. Unfortunately, my time in the call. My time in the call. Meaning say, brethren, more will be on back but my time in the call. So we have to end here. Unfortunately, we have to end here.
Mamenka will be last one.
No problem.
Yes. So using human beings is very, very important. It is always better senkawanka bit may identify the opposite way. Because if you are able to identify the opposite way, you already know the pros and cons. And no, a bit more be successful. Me, I was able to identify what I wanted to do, even right from the first internship. I mean, him said I wanted to be in infectious diseases, right, and then drug discovery focus. My time, AI was not, I think, in the system. 2022 na AI buy. Yeah, so I made use of my own decisions, and then I spoke to people to guide me in the application process, right? It's better to identify the interest yourself, but said you know, making sure so be use people. These tools, these AI tools are there just to guide you. I said this earlier that don't let your decision solely be based on what these tools will give you. Even so, because you say, me who so bit my engineer. Now, what you say physics? I am not good at physics. You don't end up going into physics.
That's right.
Me,
That's a
people
good
were
point.
saying I would be a good engineer and all that. I could pass physics. I loved chemistry more than physics. You see, reading I'm saying, me engineer or engineering, I wouldn't survive. Even though I was good at maths and physics, I wouldn't survive because me pet physics, right? Into making sure say even nipa na catch no one kasa what dad you know say, hey, into the nipa ampa. Does it align with my personality and what I want to do in the future? And then make the decision yourself. Yeah.
I like the point now, okay. So after considering all the Nkropoke canon as a form, you see the final thing still rests with you, the final decision. And you should be very honest with yourself and say, asem way na wake, asem way na wake. Na menso dynamica at the farm. And that is a very good point our brother made initially by quoting a year Thessalonians. So say, test all things and hold fast to that which is good. So if you want to stretch that scripture, we can also say, or test everything, try and see if it aligns with like what you really your strengths are. I think I'm not sure if it applies, but yeah, Greek in a say so. If it's me stretching a crap, oh, mama, that time I said, my exegesis in as for Mr. So, a honey time on the my unfortunately, we have to draw the curtains down today on this program at this point in time. I'm so grateful to both of you. God richly bless you for picking time and joining us. And we know that you are very busy. We don't want to take too much of your time. Wachna is a big day for all of us. So, Moma, Yenshen, and so on. The program was live, and I said it's live actually on Facebook, it's live on YouTube. And we thank our viewers so much for joining in. There are comments are ever, but if you are meant to mean kind, what am I mean kind? Kwame, I'll say watching you from KTU, yeah, Kontano. But for I said technically, yes, it's true. Kentampo. Oh, okay. Well, now he was referring to the statement I made. Say Kentampo is the center of the world. Meaning whether that is true, but I say technically it is true. All right. So said, please, I wanted to ask, as someone who is in the final year pursuing my undergraduate, I wanted to ask, after finishing school and doing my NSS, is it advisable to go straight away with graduate school or work in the industry? I think this will be the final question. Then we close the discussion for today. Who wants to attempt this question?
Well, I would say, sir, it depends on you because whether you take a gap, or we call it a gap year, to do or pursue some work, or you want to apply right away and then go. It depends on you.
Okay.
Or apply, you would have to sell a story to the university you're applying to, and that is when you're going to tell them your motivation. Until you walk them through your life, decisions are we take it, and what has brought you up to this point. Our person will apply. So whether you apply right after school, or you take a gap year to work and then apply afterwards, you will still have to convince the school, say, massively, based on this, no, I will still be a viable candidate if you admit me. I would say it depends. It's case dependent. Whether you want to do it or you want to take a gap year, it's up to the individual.
Frank.
Yes, idea about Kwameka, in addition to the Bernard kind of said, and you'll be a graduate school, a yamano. And you'll be a intibisa say me undergrad now. What are my goals in terms of career wise? Dear Nampesa Meye. Would the undergrad permit me to get the Mpesa Meye? No? Yes, if that is the case, Charlie, you know, let's say maybe undergrad to me 12,000 Ghana cedis. I don't know, have more graduate school, right? So when they said your undergrad degree will qualify you to get just go straight and go pursue that one. But along the journey, maybe you're going to say promotion here also your masters. That is why you should start thinking about graduate school. The air can interest say we undergrad now for grad school. No, bisa adwuma be na pesa me ye na pesa me nya free graduate school mu and ade na pesa me nya free abrabo mu graduate school add on and I say emfa bibia enka de pesa me nya no, then you make the decision from there.
Thank you so much. I think the point is well made. You say a word to a wise is enough. So there are so many things that anyone can pick up from. And so Seth, yeah, sure, say you've picked up what you want to, or what you can get from what has been presented. Any other program and as a major medini na ABC me amedi medini mu chiame meeting at the obed. Minya two impressive or handsome guests. Minya Bema Frank, all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, in Harvard University. He's pursuing a PhD in biological sciences, and the focus is on infectious diseases and I don't know, public health or something like that. Immunology. Thank you so much. Yenya Bema Nathaniel, and also he joined us today all the way from Canada. And he's currently pursuing his PhD at the university, and as a Memorial University in Canada. And the research focus is in engineering, so a PhD in electrical engineering, and his specialty is in wireless telecommunication. So these have been my guests for today. Maybe may obed pursue may pursue action time or chariot TV. Nyankopon edomia that's ene sounds we share. David that's an share, but after the digital lectureship, sounds we share na ya de dwumedie no atoaso. Ya kramu nyina.